Live and Local is proudly sponsored by Community First Credit Union, Eels and Tronvold Law Offices, Rainer Garage Doors of Cedar Rapids, and Wallen Collision Center in Fairfax. This is a presentation of KCRG TV9 Live Events. It's that time of year when high school graduates make the transition to the next step in their lives. Join KCRG TV9 in wishing them well and honoring them for their accomplishment. Only on KCRG 9.2.
The Cedar Rapids Community School District is proud to congratulate the class of 2019 and to recognize the academic achievements of all of our graduates. Each commencement ceremony celebrates the educational journey of growth and discovery and opens the door to new and exciting adventures in lifelong learning. To the graduates of Jefferson, Kennedy, Metro, and Washington high schools, we say, congratulations.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2019 Jefferson High School Commencement Ceremony. Thank you for sharing in this event with our faculty and the graduating seniors. At this time, we are ready for the graduates to enter the arena. Please rise and remain standing for the processional and the instrumental version of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Please be seated. Good evening. I am Haley Knutson, and I would like to welcome you to the 2019 graduation ceremony for the senior class of Thomas Jefferson High School. Thank you for joining us. Before we begin, please allow me to introduce our class board members. As I call their names, would they please stand? Allison Clement, Lindsay Culver, Carly Colby, Kaylee Donner, Erica Nelson, Jack Mossbarger, and myself. Thank you for the time and effort you have put into serving our class. Next, I would like all of you before me to close your eyes. No, seriously, close your eyes. Picture this. The setting is somewhere around the middle of August. The year is 2006. You're about to enter your kindergarten classroom for the very first time. The teacher is standing at the door, eager to begin the year. You say goodbye to your parents, who are undoubtedly holding back their tears as they send you off to your very first day of school. Meanwhile, countless questions are running through their heads, like, what happens if they don't like what's for lunch? Or what if they don't make any friends? This day marked one of the big first and scary transitions that students and parents alike would make. However, it would not be the last. Fast forward 13 years, and here we are, at high school graduation. We have all been anticipating this evening for a very long time. My fellow seniors, we are transitioning from high school students to high school graduates. It is important that you take the education you've received and the life lessons you've learned into this transition. In doing this, you increase exponentially your chances of reaching success. Parents, you will play a very key part in helping your child make this transition. The child you dropped off at kindergarten 13 years ago is now a young adult. This change in age will bring with it, hopefully, the development of maturity, along with the broadening of skill sets and wisdom. With that said, parents, there will still be moments where your child seeks help. Young adulthood brings with it the opportunity for mistakes to be made and advice to be sought. During this time, it is vital that you are there to support us during the hard times and celebrate with us during the good. Classmates, recognize what the people in this room have done to help us and be open to help from others in the future. Next, I would like to introduce our first speaker of the evening, Carly Colby, who will give her speech, Making Our Voices Heard.
I believe that the class of 2019 can be summed up in one interaction that occurred in my sophomore year. The teacher looked at a particularly talkative student and said, "I put you by the quietest kid in the class, and you still managed to talk the entire hour." Though not everyone in this room today can say they have had this exact experience, I think a large majority of us have had a similar moment. A moment where we were instructed and expected to sit down, be quiet, and listen, as we are today. I am sure our rebellious nature to this request drove many of our teachers to near insanity, and I cannot blame them, for even I would find myself in a state of annoyance due to a lack of a single second of silence. After recent reflection, however, I have come to view our non-compliant actions in a new light. The problem that this class encountered with this expectation was the fact that our voices were too prominent to quiet. We had things to say, and we knew in waiting, one runs the risk of waiting too long, so we didn't wait. Our teachers may have perceived this, at times, as us being too talkative, too distracted, but we were just trying to make our voices heard. This refusal to sit and allow ourselves to form to someone else's wishes is exactly the reason why the class of 2019 will not only survive this upcoming transition, but we will find a way to thrive in the situations that are thrown at us. If we as a class have one thing in common, it is that we strive to be heard. I think it is fair to say there are people in this room who embrace change. There are also those who would rather avoid it altogether. The funny thing about change is that it is inevitable. As we look into the future of Jefferson, this fact is made obvious. Jefferson High School and its students hold a front row seat in viewing the transitions of not only the class of 2019, but also a few adults who will not be at Jefferson next year. One of the hardest things about leaving high school is leaving behind the people who you have grown to think of as a second family, and Jefferson High School does this better than anyone. It can be sad to think about the fact that the softball coach that you had for 4 years is not going to be standing at third base this summer, that your pre-calculus teacher will no longer tell stories of his chickens while explaining a math problem for the 3rd time because you just could not get it the first or second, that your drama instructor will no longer be there to encourage your shining presence on stage, and your choir teacher will no longer be there to make sure you are on key. When you go to the library to get help with your computer, there will be a different person there to greet you. Even the idea of never being instructed to run another lap by your dance coach due to a lack of smiling faces can cause a few tears to be shed. The idea of transitioning away from moments like these can be heart-wrenching at first glance, but as we look closer, we can see that the transition is necessary. The people with whom we have shared the previously stated memories have chosen to open their doors to change. Some of their doors leading to a new path in regard to teaching, while others leading to a long-deserved retirement. I must admit, it feels odd to talk about the future, knowing that for some of us, this will be the first time in 13 years that the future does not automatically involve the people in this room. As independent as we teenagers claim to be, there were many people and moments that paved the way to get us where we are. Some of these moments were more obvious in the impact that they would leave, like when our best friends came over to talk at 1 o'clock in the morning because we felt like everything was falling apart. It is when we reflect back that we are able to fully appreciate the significance these moments had. Although we were not all the best of friends, everyone here today has had an impact on one another's lives, no matter how insignificant the impact may have appeared. So thank you. And to the audience out there tonight, you deserve thanks, not only for willingly coming to this ceremony, but also for acting as support, even during times when we were not always fun to be around. Everyone here, staff, students, parents, and guardians, deserves to take a moment before we continue and let it sink in. We did it together. Now, it would be wrong of me to stand up before you and act like high school was a bed of rose petals and nothing else, because all of us know that it wasn't. Roses have thorns. Hearts were broken, and Jefferson became a second home for a lot of the people in this room out of necessity, because our actual homes were sometimes too difficult to be at. School, all too often, grouped students based off of perceived abilities. We often found ourselves defined by a number or a letter given to us, and were deeply disappointed when our opinion of our worth did not match our GPA or ACT score. And now that we are here, sitting together in one room, during one of the longest but most rewarding hours of our lives, it is time to look back and see that we were always more than a number. Today does not only mark a transition between high school and the open world, but it also marks a transition from working towards a piece of paper to working because we want to. This is your time. Succeed because you wish to succeed, not because you have someone whispering in your ear that you have to, because the truth of the matter is, you don't. You don't have to succeed. No one is going to make you reach your goals. William Bridges once said, "It is when we are in transition that we are most completely alive." This moment, right now, we are about to begin one of our most significant transitions. So live. Take advantage of this moment in time when we are not tethered to anything. This transition gives you the freedom to decide and embodies the liveliness one feels when finally given the gift of choice. I hope that you take this period of time and live it to its fullest potential. We have proven that we are all capable of succeeding in what we wish to succeed in, and that there is power in our voices. So before we part ways, all I ask of you is this. When somebody sits you down and demands that you be quiet, use your voice with strength and courage that surprises even yourself. Make sure that your voice is heard, and do not let go of that resilience when it matters. I would now like to reintroduce Jefferson's Meister Singers and Wind Symphony, who will perform 3 selections.
teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Since you've gone and left me, there's been so little beauty, but I know I saw you clearly through your eyes. Now the world outside is such a cold and bitter place. Here inside I have few things that will console. And when I try to hear your voice above the storms of life, then I remember that I was sold. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I think on the things that made me feel so wonderful when I was young. I think on the things that made me laugh, made me dance, made me sing. I think on the things that made me grow into a being full of pride. Think on these things, for they are true. And I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I thought that you were gone, but now I know you're with me. You are the voice that whispers all I need to hear. I know a please to thank you and a smile will take me far. I know that I am you and you are me and we are one. I know that who I am is numbered in each grain of sand. I know that I've been blessed again and over again and again. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes.
Would the audience please stand for the Jefferson Loyalty Song?
Jefferson.
Please be seated. My name is Hannah Wynn, and it is my pleasure this evening to introduce several guests who are seated on stage and who will participate in the graduation ceremony. Members of the Cedar Rapids Community School District Board of Directors will present diplomas to the graduates. Please reserve your applause until all are introduced. Board President, Mr. John Laverty, Mr. Gary Anhalt, Mrs. Jennifer Borcherding, Miss Nancy Humbles, Mr. Raphael Jacobo, Miss Kristen Jansen, Mrs. Mary Meisterling. I would also like to introduce Dr. Brad Buck, Superintendent of Cedar Rapids Community School District, and Mrs. Noreen Bush, Associate Superintendent. On behalf of Jefferson's class of 2019, I would like to offer our sincere thanks for the efforts of these board members and central office administrators. I would now like to introduce Salutatorium Jackie Leo.
I would now like to introduce this year's 22 valedictorians. Will they please rise and remain standing until all names are called? They are Chiara Affatigato, Maya Augustine, Braden Boucher, Hannah Carr, Allison Clement, Lindsay Culver, Kaylee Donner, Brandon Egger, Evan Griffith, Angeline Harms, Megan Kitzmiller, Emma Lassen, Tracy Martinson, William Knockhazel, Erica Nelson, Hannah Wen, Cade Nordman, Jackson Snyder, Samuel Staley, Luke Weger, Raquel Wilhelm, Caroline Winter. One of these valedictorians will be presenting their reflections tonight about the time that we have spent in high school. I would now like to introduce Senior Valedictorian Evan Griffith.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Almost 2 weeks ago, we, the class of 2019, entered the gym for our final spirit assembly. The gym that morning was ecstatic. We laughed, we sang, and we cheered. We all celebrated being Jayhawks. It was a moment unlike any other, and it was our last. Yet, after it was over, did you stop to think about its significance? Its importance in marking the end of our careers as Jayhawks? Or did you, after watching Mr. Lemaster absolutely kill it on stage, just move on with your day? The truth is, it's easy to just move on and to get swept up in the next passing thing. But it's also important to pause and reflect on impactful moments. Like this evening. Tonight marks another milestone reached in our lives. This is where we are supposed to be. So let us take a few minutes to reflect on what these last 4 years have taught us and what it means for us going forward. Evan continues. Oh. Must have learned that one from Mr. Sneakloff. During our 4 years, many of us discovered more about who we are and who we aspire to be. Personally, I learned this year that I am actually the third property brother, and I didn't even know it. Seriously though, whether participating in sports, fine arts, clubs, or academics, we became active members of the Jefferson culture, and we found a place to belong. Many of us uncovered an unknown passion through a memorable experience or from an eye-opening class. These moments gave us direction, helping us to decide what we wanted our lives to look like going forward. Of course, this doesn't mean that we have it all figured out, but we have direction. We're ready to pursue our interests and passions that were sparked here at Jefferson. This is what we are supposed to be. Secondly, high school taught us the importance of building and maintaining relationships with the people in our lives. Along the way, our peers, teachers, coaches, and parents put in countless hours supporting us, motivating us, and helping us through the toughest days of high school. As many of you already know, I used to be quite the little chubster. However, I built a relationship with an influential adult through baseball who gave me the support and encouragement I needed to make healthier life choices and to lose weight. Because of her invested time in me, I developed a new confidence in myself. Relationships like this are major contributors to our happiness, success, and well-being. Sharing our lives with the people closest to us makes it all worthwhile. So, let us be like these influential people in our lives by investing our time in other people, treating others with respect, and showing genuine kindness to those around us. This is who we are supposed to be. Having reflected on our time at Jefferson, we get to decide how we apply these experiences to our lives. We get to decide the type of people we want to be as we leave high school. The popularity, accolades, and reputations we developed in high school will no longer be significant going forward in life. That candy bar you won for good attendance in the school's rigged, random drawing is not something you will put on your resume. Our previous success does not guarantee our future success. In the same way, our past failures do not guarantee continuous failure going forward. So, let this encourage and motivate us not to settle for less than our best in our future endeavors. Let us be remembered for our positive impact on those around us and for our driven demeanor in pursuit of our passions in life. This is how we are supposed to be. In closing, I'd like to thank my parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, siblings, cousins, and ultimately God for overwhelming love and support over the years. I am truly blessed and would not be here without you. On behalf of the class of 2019, I'd like to thank our school's teachers, administrators, coaches, custodians, and staff for the countless hours you have spent investing your time in us, leaving positive impacts on our lives, and setting us up for success. Lastly, I'd like to thank the faculty for making student-staff competitions no competition at all. Sorry, Mr. Hilby, I know that one stings a little bit. So, graduates, let's all stand now and applaud these influential people for their gracious efforts. may be seated. Class of 2019, I encourage you all to personally thank the people who have left a lasting impact on you, because we could not have made it on our own. They will appreciate your thanks more than you realize. Congratulations, class of 2019. I wish you all the very best of luck, and remember, this right here is where we are supposed to be. Thank you. I now would like to introduce fellow valedictorian and my friend, Raquel Wilhelm.
Now that you have met the valedictorians and heard their reflections, it is our pleasure to introduce the salutatorians. Will they please rise and remain standing until all names are called? Will the audience please hold your applause until all 14 salutatorians are introduced? Madison Baxter, Josephina Chung, Carly Colby, Luz Guerrero Torres, Alex Johnson, Haley Knutson, Anna Kopel, Emily Kuba, Jackie Leo, Aiden Meyer, Caitlin Pike, Spencer Smith, Blake Weber, and Caden Wortman. Congratulations to these classmates. You may be seated. I would now like to introduce senior Chiara Afatigato.
I would like to introduce you to some of the academic achievements of the class of 2019. Seniors, your past 4 years at Jefferson High School have sped by. Graduates, it is time to take a few moments to look back on our past accomplishments. In terms of academics, co-curricular activities, and citizenship, this class and this school is second to none, and these are just a few reasons why. Let's start by looking at the academic accomplishments of the class of 2019. Your program provides explanations of several academic honors, including the selection process for valedictorians and salutatorians, students who were introduced to you earlier this evening. Obviously, the students in those elite groups have taken their academic responsibilities at Jefferson very seriously, and they are deserving of the recognition they have received. In fact, there are 26 members of this class with 4.0 or higher GPAs. They are not, however, the only excellent students in this class. We would like to introduce you to many more. At last week's Senior Recognition Night event, academic recognition was provided to many members of this class. Your program describes the qualification standards for students receiving the Presidential Education Award, for membership in the Academic Honors Program with Distinction, National Honor Society, the Jayhawk Credit Club, and for earning the Jefferson Academic Letter. Those qualification standards are rigorous, and to earn any one of them is worthy of high praise. In fact, 44 of tonight's graduates received a certificate from President Trump because they qualified for the Presidential Education Award. 72 graduates have been inducted into Jefferson's chapter of the National Honor Society. 105 have received the academic letter, and more may qualify once spring term grades have been included on the transcripts. 65 students are wearing the medals for our academic honors program, and an additional 68 are wearing medals for having met the more challenging standards of the Honors with Distinction program. 80 students are wearing blue honor cords this evening to signify that they have earned 54 or more credits while at Jefferson. 550 4- and 5-year department awards were given in the content areas of language arts, math, science, social studies, world language, and Project Lead the Way. 8 members of this class, Caitlin Curtis Swore, Brandon Egger, Noella Kabula, Jackie Leo, Tracy Martinson, and William Knockhazel, earned excellent attendance during their 4 years in high school. I am pleased to announce that 250 members of this class have achieved the distinction of qualifying for one or more of these academic honors. Would those 250 students please stand for our recognition? Congratulations on your academic success at Jefferson. Thank you. Of course, these are not the only ways to measure academic success. The graduates just mentioned and others in the class as well have been the recipients of countless other honors, including academic scholarships that will be used at many colleges and universities this fall. That statement speaks volumes about the academic commitment of the members of the class of 2019. As a class, we are to be commended. I would now like to introduce Caroline Winter, who will discuss our accomplishments and activities.
As in the academic arena, members of this class have enjoyed their participation in Jefferson's numerous co-curricular activities. Students learn valuable lessons and enjoy lasting memories on these teams and ensembles. Some examples of that success include the following. The 2019 academic decathlon team won the state championship for the 19th consecutive year. The team represented Iowa at the national competition in Bloomington, Minnesota, finishing second place in the medium school division. Instrumental and vocal music programs at Jefferson excel at the state and national levels. Many groups, including Westside Delegation, Ovation, Meister Singers, Jefferson String Orchestra, the Band of Blue Marching Band, Jazz Band, and the Wind Symphony and Symphonic Band travel regionally and nationally, and their success is phenomenal. Both the choir and instrumental programs own an impressive series of Division I honors in state competitions at the State Marching Band Festival, State Solo and Ensemble Festival, and State Large Group Festival. We have a thriving theater program as well. The Jefferson Theater Department presented 5 productions this year. The season began with a large Playtime Poppy children's theater production of The Incredible Adventures of Captain Spoon, the Forgetful Pirate in October. Then, in November, the department performed a one-act play at the Iowa Thespian Festival held at UNI. The spoof, Greek mythology Olympia Ganza, appeared in December, followed by a cabaret of large group speech events presented for one night in January. The comedy, Musical Comedy Murders of 1940, graced the Little Theater stage in March to receptive audiences. And we finished the year with the musical The Wizard of Oz 2 weeks ago to large crowds and standing ovations. Jefferson's art department has placed several individuals in regional and national art competitions. In the most prestigious competition, the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards, students in the art program have achieved several awards in the past few years, including the highest regional and national win for any student in the history of the Cedar Rapids Public Community School District. In addition, many of our seniors sitting here today have been active participants in the community with art-related projects. Would all of the graduates who have participated in academic decathlon, vocal or instrumental music, theater, art, or speech during their years at Jefferson, and the staff members who directed them, please stand? We want to give you one last ovation in recognition of your excellent work in the fine arts. I would now like to introduce fellow class member Emma Lassen.
In addition to fine arts and academics, athletic competition provides many valuable lessons and memories. Nearly 1,000 students participate in athletics yearly as part of the 21 interscholastic sports teams. They have competed in state tournaments and playoffs and have enjoyed success in the Mississippi Valley Conference, perhaps the premier large school conference in Iowa. As they graduate tonight, they take with them great memories of their participation in sports at Jefferson. Highlights in the athletic arena include state qualifying individuals or teams in Special Olympics, volleyball, girls tennis, softball, baseball, football, swimming, wrestling, track, and bowling. Would all the members of the class of 2019 who have participated in athletics at Jefferson and the staff members who have coached them please stand? We salute you for your commitment to excellence in the realm of athletics. It would be easy to continue to talk about the journalism program, the math team, the various programs that make up Jefferson's DECA, Service Club, POMS, Cheer Squad, Chess Team, Building Trades, Trap Shooting Club, Math Club, Student Council, and the numerous other clubs that exist at the school. In every case, the messages would be similar. Students enjoying a successful program being led by a caring, competent adult. Will the students involved in these programs please stand for our applause? Let me reintroduce our principal, Mr. Charles McDonald.
Please join me in congratulating the class officers, valedictorians, and salutatorians for a job well done tonight. They have been important leaders in the successes of the class of 2019, and their thoughtful and articulate comments have set the tone for an outstanding commencement ceremony. At this time, we would like the class officers, salutatorians, and valedictorians to please return to their seats. Thank you. Jefferson High School initiated its Honorary Diploma Recognition Program in 1986. The Honorary Diploma is reserved for those special school patrons who make significant contributions to the school and its programs, and it is viewed as the highest honor provided to school supporters. Tonight's honoree brings the total number of honorary diplomas awarded to 84. This year's award will go to a person who has contributed a tremendous amount of time and effort to our Jefferson community. The Jefferson Honorary Diploma is being presented this evening to Mrs. Edna Cadlick. Would Mrs. Edna Cadlick please join me on the stage? Edna Cadlick has worked with our booster clubs and band for nearly 3 decades. Her involvement began with the band department when her daughter, Katie, was participating, and as soon as she graduated, the booster club president at the time, Richard Langeth, asked her if her and her husband, Mike, would help with the Jefferson Booster Club. If Edna looks familiar, it's because you have attended a Jefferson event or been to the Sweet Corn Festival, where she has volunteered for over 25 years. She has worked at the state's best concession stand, the Cabin, at softball, and also at Kingston Stadium for football, soccer, and track and field, as well as basketball and wrestling concessions in the winter. There were many times that she would finish work at Mercy Medical Center and drive right over to help run the concessions. She is well known for bringing her fresh goodies, including homemade rhubarb pie. Edna and Mike have 2 daughters and 4 grandchildren. Edna's connection to Jefferson is extensive. She has 2 brothers and sisters graduate from Jefferson, as well as several nieces and nephews. Her older sister was an associate principal at Jefferson, and she currently has a granddaughter attending. Edna's years of dedication and service to our Jefferson community certainly demonstrates a commitment to our school that is surpassed by none. Please show her our collective gratitude and welcome her officially to our Jayhawk family with this honorary Jefferson diploma. Thank you, Edna. Awesome. Of course, the successes these students have enjoyed would not be possible without the help of many, many people who have played critical roles in preparing them for tonight's celebration. Let us meet several groups whose influence has impacted our graduates. I will introduce them in groups. Please hold your applause until all are standing. Associate Principals, Ms. Lori Bateman, Mr. Chris Deem, and Mr. Chad Zabo. Counselors, Mrs. Kim Abram, Mrs. Jamie Cummins, Mr. Jason Edwards, and Ms. Judy McIntosh. PACT Coordinator, Mr. Kevin Darrow, and NHS Advisor, Ms. Teresa Fetkether, both helped in preparing tonight's ceremony. Mrs. Kelly Ponick, Ms. Amy Sanford Smith, and Mrs. Nora Taylor have served these students as class sponsors. Their work has culminated recently with the completion of a successful prom, after-prom party, and senior slideshow. 26 additional teachers are senior forum advisors, and many of them have worked with the same students all 4 years. Finally, the remainder of the Jefferson faculty, please stand and be recognized. Please be seated. Thank you. 2 Jefferson teachers are retiring this year. Would Lynn Jensen and Todd Lewison please stand? Thank you for your long-term commitment and loyalty to our school, and specifically our students. Education is a team effort. Teachers are critical, as are the school board members and central office personnel we met earlier in the program. So are the professional office staff members who work with students and families every day. Some of those people are here tonight. Lois Bassett serves as the principal secretary at Jefferson and has coordinated many of the important end-of-the-year events, including tonight's graduation ceremony. Her work is indispensable. 3 other office staff members are seated in the audience and have worked to make tonight's event go smoothly. They are Lori Gunn, Ellen Pelzer, and Nancy Preby. Thank you so much for all you do on behalf of the students at Jefferson. Graduates, you should feel pride in all that you have accomplished at Jefferson in the academic, fine arts, and athletic arenas. As you move forward, we want you to accomplish your goals and experience success. Jefferson has provided you with critical foundational knowledge and skills, and I am confident that you will find ways to leverage your individual strengths to make an impact on our society. As you know, this evening's graduation marks a transition for me as well. After 31 years in education and 15 years as principal at Jefferson, I too am moving on to a new phase of life. Retirement will grant me a new sense of freedom and ability to spend more time with family, travel, and pursue hobbies that I've always enjoyed. While this transition may look different than yours, it will similarly create new possibilities. I plan to embrace those. I hope you do as well. The Jefferson you know is different from the Jefferson I was introduced to in 2003, and undoubtedly it's different from the one that other generations here this evening know. While some past Jayhawks may tell you about attending a new Cedar Rapids Jefferson High School, others may explain how our fallout shelter was turned into a weight room, about what it's like to have a second gym, a new gym, or what it's like to take the first AP classes. When I started at Jefferson, The Science and Fine Arts wings had just recently been built. The weight room was smaller. The cafeteria felt institutional. The building wasn't air-conditioned, and the attendance office wasn't located inside the front doors. Not to mention Project Lead the Way, Blend Ed, IJAG, ELL, and Kirkwood classes weren't part of our course offerings. Over the past 50 years, Jefferson has evolved. It looks different because the students walking into it have different needs and different goals. The school changed so that you could develop the knowledge and skills to be future ready. With that said, so many aspects of the Jefferson culture are the same. Upon starting at Jefferson, I quickly learned that the school's proud history and the term West Side is the best side, and that Jayhawks bleed blue. I learned that no matter the graduate date, Jefferson pride is grounded in work that is strong and true. It binds us all. It is a pride that has brought so many Jayhawk students back to our building to teach and work. It is a pride that allows those of us who weren't Jefferson graduates to have pride in the fact that our children were, are, or will be Jayhawks. And it is a pride that creates an opportunity for some second and third generation Jayhawks to walk across the stage this evening. What I've just described of Jefferson is actually a nice metaphor. Like Jefferson, I hope you continue to change and adapt to the world around you. I hope that you pursue what motivates you and are forthright in your willingness to work for those goals, for when you devote attention to what you love, you are much more poised to be creative, imaginative, and innovative. You can offer different perspectives and generate new possibilities. You can influence bold change. At the same time, I hope that you stay true to who you are and to your roots. I hope that you honor the people and traditions that are important to you while finding ways to respect and honor those who have different traditions than your own. Our world needs people who are responsible, respectful, determined, and who pursue excellence in a manner that is guided by integrity. These qualities of Jayhawks and qualities that these are qualities of Jayhawks and qualities that will serve you well in life. Congratulations, class of 2019. We are proud of you. Good luck. I would now like to reintroduce Superintendent Dr. Brad Buck.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. Before I begin my formal responsibilities for the evening, I want to take advantage of this opportunity to highlight you. For those who've taken a moment to peruse the program, you likely have noticed the write-up acknowledging that Mr. McDonald is retiring after 15 years as the principal of Jefferson High School. The description highlights the construction and remodeling projects that he oversaw to modernize the school, educational changes that occurred, his strong work ethic, and his plans to, with his wife Karen, spend more time with their children and grandchildren. As a proud alumnus of Jefferson High School, I would like to add a couple of comments about my experiences with Mr. McDonald. The comments, guided by what's in your program, center on educational changes that have occurred while Mr. McDonald has been principal, as well as his work ethic. Specifically, while at Jefferson, Mr. McDonald and his team have focused on the need for multiple pathways to student success beyond the high school diploma. While advanced placement coursework is a priority, so have been dual credit opportunities through Kirkwood Community College, as well as Project Lead the Way classes and courses in career and technical education. You see, Mr. McDonald understands the many varied parts of our economy that are honorable pathways to high-quality jobs through certification and credential programs, trade unions and apprenticeships, 2- and 4-year degrees, and the military. As such, he has worked hard to have JHS lead in delivering on our mission of passion, pathways, and plans after high school for our graduates. In addition to this leadership role in supporting multiple pathways is Mr. McDonald's desire and willingness to model hard work with an understanding that by working hard, opportunities expand for our graduates. This is especially true when students are and have been supported through these varied pathways while at Jefferson High School. Mr. and Mrs. McDonald are amazing advocates for Jefferson High School. Some of us are born into it, and others come to it later in life. They came to it later in life and have fully embraced and exemplified the phrases, "It's great to be a Jayhawk," "The West Side is the best side," and "Bleed blue." I'm confident that both of them will cherish these ideals as they move forward to the next chapter in their lives. Please join me in honoring retiring principal, Mr. Chuck McDonald. To the families, community members, and staff that have guided these young students along their academic journey, I hold a deep respect for your mentorship, love, support, and instruction that led these young women and men to this pivotal moment in their lives. As I've noted already, as an alumnus of the Cedar Rapids Community School District, I share your enthusiasm tonight. I remember so well the pride of this moment in the anticipation of the next years ahead. You are tomorrow's leaders, and as you embark on the next stage of your journey, know that you are fully equipped to discover where passion and profession intersect and where fulfillment can be found in life's work. May the road ahead find you prosperous and joyous. Board President Humbles, members of the board, ladies and gentlemen, these members of the Jefferson High School class of 2019 have met the requirements set forth in district policy and state law. Therefore, we are at this time prepared to present them their diplomas.
Bryce Abbasi. Sahara Abdi. Kiara Afatagato. Enyeto Ahido Eurotek. Hadi Ahmed. Munya Empara Alfani. Keyshawn Allers. Noah Allers. Destiny Anderson. Dustin Anderson. Nova Armstrong. Maya Augustine. Adam Buckham. Ashley Barnes. Rose Barreto. Fatuma Besame. Jacob Bates. Kirsten Bauer. Madison Baxter. Mackenzie Bean. Cody Behrens. Haley Belts. Elias Benyon. Bane Birch. Braden Boucher. Blaze Bozek. Andrew Bowers. Colin Bowers. Bryce Brandon. Chase Bremersh. Peyton Brockovich. Peyton Brophy. Alex Brownfield. And Alyssa Bryant. Elizabeth Buheim. Jeanette Burgos. Brett Burnell. Juliet Walia. Cecilia Buonaquiri. Seth Campbell. Joanna Cano Morales. Hannah Carr. Kenya Carson. Chris Castillo. Dominic Cabros. Josephina Chung. Madison Clark. Nija Clark. Allison Clement. Carly Colby. Trinity Cooper. Jonathan Cross. Champagne Gwynn Cruz. Lindsay Culver. Caitlin Curtis Swore. Hannah Donbaugh. Ethan Davenport. Peyton Davenport. Joseph Davis. Rosemary Day. Lauren Dixon. Kaylee Donner. Joel Eder Jr. Brandon Egger. Denise Erneste. Nishimwe Esther. Elias Eaton. Katie Faulkner. Noah Fernandez. Denasia Fleetwood. Sydney Franklin. Drake Frazier. Sydney Frazier. Aaron Fritz. Jacob Foltz. Shelby Gabrielson. Savannah Garner. Henry Garsane. Dale Gavin. Rhea George. Sarah Gibbs. Dylan Gibson. Ryan Grady. Alyssa Grayland. Corey Grapes. Carl Green. Mackenzie Green. Evan Griffith. David Groman IV. Luz Guerrera Torres. Willie Guy III. Elizabeth Hars. Sage Hager. Evan Hall. Ryan Hallman. Jessica Hamill. Kendra Hamilton. Cortera Hampton. Logan Hannon. Angeline Harms. Isaiah Harris. John Harris. DeMonte Hawkins. Jody Hurst. Elaine Helgenberger. Riley Henderson. Corinne Hepker. Austin Hicks. Denadra Hodges. Whitney Holton. Tamara Horner. Jayon Howard. Cole Hoyt. Olivia Huff. Devin Hulsing. Emma Hunt. Ariel Hunter. Tony Hutchinson. Tristan Jansen. Alex Johnson. Deshaun Johnson. Noella Kabula. Deborah Kavira. Drake Kearns. Chase Keeney. Jackson Kevitt. Maria Kikuni. Michaela Kitterman. Megan Kitzmiller. Brandon Klink. Sydney Klobeck. Haley Knutson. Sophie Knutson. Joseph Canupi. Emmanuel Kobagizi. Anna Kopel. Emily Kuba. Trevor Lang. Jacob Larson. Emma Lassen. Brittany Legrand. Jackie Leo. Hannon Lurch. Sadie Lurch. Kyron Ligon. Valinda Lewis. Kaylin Love Cook. Christopher Lumpa. Jackson Maher. Jacob Markov. Hannah Markham. Hunter Martin. Tracy Martinson. Sierra Mason. Ali Matan. Chloe McCabe. Tyler McClure. Micah Melter. Amanda Messer. Aiden Meyer. Brock Meyer. Kama Meyer. Riley Meza. Chloe Mikulik. Gavin Mikulik. Joseph Mickelson. Ella Mikesell. Melody Miller. Rebecca Moffett. Christopher Molinex. Hannah Montgomery. Haley Morgan. Jack Mossbarger. David Mugamuzi. Bernard Muhairi. Jean Mukiza. Jeanette Mukiza. Moisey Makundi. Tara Murray. Angelique Mutoni. William Nakazo. Anna Ndarmoiteze. Erica Nelson. Brandon Nyans. Jaslyn Ngakani. Hannah Wynn. Rosada Nasindaje. Tyson Nickel. Johanna Nirani Bagira. David Niyogu Shima. Jessica Knoll. Cade Nordman. James Nyland. Zion O'Neill. Enrique Orozco. Lena Osman. Olivia Overman. Connor Page. Antonio Pago. Keegan Pappas. Adam Pena. Maggie Peters. Haley Peterson. Caitlin Pike. Madison Pinkney. Marshall Plotz. Lindsay Posicani. Jalen Powell. Lillian Price. Eric Prieto. Olivia Prochnow. Megan Prohaska. Maria Ramirez Torres. Brianna Range. Courtney Rawson. Melina Redmond. Carlos Ridenauer. Celeste Robinson. Sigmund Robinson Jr. Zaria Robinson. Karina Rodriguez Garcia. Matthew Rosauer. Morgana Rudolph. Eric Ruzareza. Dalton Ruzishka. Shaban Saleh. Chloe Santee. Jared Shaburl. Raylene Schultz. Julian Seaman. Joshua Cisse. Ryan Shoemaker. Emily Schugert. Jake Silbaugh. Drew Simmons. Caitlin Simpson. Braden Slight. Hope Slight. Raylan Smeested. Alexandria Smith. Peyton Smith. Spencer Smith. Trenton Smith. Kirsten Sneed. Darian Snyder. Jackson Snyder. Brandon Soper. Samuel Staley. Kiara Stewart. Rihanna Stoker. Jaden Taylor. Sydney Taylor. Anthony Thomas. Alexia Thompson. Martin Tobaugh. Adam Tao. Braden Trebon. Tiffany Uncle. Jeremy Eckhart. Shelby Van Bibber. Laura Vandenbosch. Dylan Vorwald. Riley Wallingford. Riley Walton. Naquan Washington. Infinity Watkins. Blake Weber. Madison Weber. Reagan Weber. Luke Weger. Heather Wenger. Raquel Wilhelm. Kobe Williams. Madison Williams. Winter Williams. Dalton Willis. Alexander Wilson. Caroline Winter. Eugene Winters. Kendall Wise. Nicole Wise. Avery Woldruff. Peyton Woldruff. Sarah Wolf. Prince Wanton. Colton Woods. Caden Wortman. Grant Wright. Malcolm Young. Megan Zertzman.
and Local is proudly sponsored by Community First Credit Union, Eels and Tronvold Law Offices, Rainer Garage Doors of Cedar Rapids, and Waln Collision Center in Fairfax.